Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button. Shout out to my new subscribers. I really appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the chance and opportunity. We without further ado, because I got to do one more video before we get out of here. But TD Jake stepped down and handed over leadership to his daughter, which is fine. But also, we need to find out what's going on with this lawsuit because Dwayne Youngblood and his brother came out and made accusations about him messing with them as young men. But he turned around to clear his name and sued them. And then I think 10 additional people then came out. So we're going to get into that. So TD Jakes hands over leadership of Dallas mega church. The Potter's House, the Dallas-based megachurch led by Bishop T.D. Jakes, formerly installed Jake's daughter and son-in-law Sarah Jakes Roberts and Turi Roberts as co-pastors to the ministry. Also, Sarah Jakes got a lot of news about her taking that lady's child that I talked about in a previous T.D. Jakes video I did. The Roberts were inaugurated during a nearly 4 hour service, which was held in a packed 8,000 plus seat sanctuary filled with members, guests, and dozens of ministers, including elders and deacons. The couple wore black suits and white clergy collars. Attendees included Judah Christie McAllister, Cindy Trim. Mm, what I seen at Cindy Trim the last time I went to see her, that's why I don't follow nobody no more. Mm. Y'all need to look in the spirit on that one. Paid a warm tribute to Jakes and his family in a message entitled The Last Sermon. Jake said during the service that a lot has changed in the world since he founded the church nearly 3 decades ago. He noted the country has gone through traumatic events such as September 11th, Hurricane Katrina, and the pandemic. But he said he was thankful for how the Potter's House has helped people in spiritual and practical ways. I don't know what the future holds, but the same God that brought us together 29 years will take us and our children through the next 29 years. Mm. 9 plus 2 is 11. Mm. Near the end of the church service, he charged the Roberts to serve and love the congregation and told the members to submit to the couple's leadership and encourage them. Another reason why he stepped down was himself. I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and that you be sheep without a shepherd. The Roberts are expected to take over in July when the church celebrates its anniversary. And he said this is legacy. Jakes has long time relationship with Tyler Perry and Oprah. His influence has spanned beyond the black church to a wider culture. He talked about the importance of letting go, saying that he has seen too many men build something and stay so long that they kill what they built. This is a message to my friend. You know who you are. Listen, letting go, saying he has seen too many men build something and stay so long that they killed what they built. He said that amid all the changes in, okay, we got that. All right, let's get into it because I don't want to be long with this one. Tasha K so messy, but we're gonna get to see what Judge Joe Brown had to say.
Well, TD Jakes, he made an announcement on Sunday that he is retiring as lead pastor at the Potter's House.
I wanted to share it, and we started not to do it this way, but the thing that moved me was I wanted to share it with our e-church. Well, I guess we ought to go home. Please be good to our people. Please help them. The humility that you see is real. The weight is unbelievable.
I think he had a stroke. Remember, he got sick and passed out in his church.
Froze.
Huh?
He froze.
He froze, and then he almost fell. But I think maybe it was a mini stroke because he don't even sound like himself. So he's stepping down.
Yeah, he had a stroke.
That last part when he was like, the pressure is heavy. I don't know.
They say the devil will sometimes pay his chosen ones a visit. Maybe that happened. And if you want to see something or read something amusing, read Dante's Inferno about a certain level of hell being reserved for a certain type of prelate.
Mm-hmm.
I always found it extraordinary that anybody would get rich off of saving souls. That sounded like a quick pathway to hell, if there is such a place. But anyway.
All right. And
there's a local yokel around here that tries to alternate between imitating him, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X when he talks. He's lacking. But anyway, I always marveled when he would have those things where he'd have, the $1,000 line, the $500 line, the $100 line, and the $5,000 line, and a bunch of fools thinking they're going to hell and going to save themselves with a bribe or lining up to pay off or to get social glory. I always thought it was offensive.
I mentioned this to you last week, and I was like, let's just save John Legend for Monday, right? Because this is quick. And if you notice, I'm doing a lot of the quick ones first before we get into the meat of the show.
The ones I'm not interested in, anyway.
Yeah, but, the audience is. A lot of people out there.
I understand. That's why we have what we have in the United States, because the typical American is more interested in idol, or shall we say, idol worship. But in this case, not the statuary kind, the cinema entertainment idols, and they don't have any real heroes anymore. So
this is John Legend. He's
accounted a good singer, I take it.
Yeah, but here he go again calling Trump a bigot.
America made a decision that I strongly disagree with, and it seems that we are reaping the whirlwind right now, putting someone who is a terrible leader, especially in crisis. He's already out blaming people, misinforming people, dividing people, when a smart and responsible and good political way to handle it would have been to bring people together.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you want.
Be a comforter in chief,
Why do you think he's latched on to diversity so much?
And he wants that fake mammy Kamala Imhoff to be his boss. Go somewhere. Find confrontation.
Did you hear when he said comforter in chief? Well, I want to finish playing the clip.
Yeah.
Well, he's a bigot, so. It's a belief that there's a hierarchy of racial groups and that his group is superior, genetically superior. He believes that. Right. Whenever he talks about competence and qualifications, any white man will do for him. Look at the last guy who was Secretary of Defense. He was a 4-star general, supremely qualified black man. He was, and see,
hold on, here I come, y'all.
That's the level of bigotry that he has. Any white man is better than that.
This guy doesn't understand policy, does he? So where does he get off being an expert on the subject he's commenting on?
Well, he wants a comforter in chief. Did you hear him when he said
I heard that. That shows you how silly the whole thing is. And I was talking about this, have been for months. The United States, especially its black component, has no heroes these days. The ones that they make into heroes are effectively those who entertain it and detract from its focus on what needs to be in the forefront.
All right, y'all.
So, yeah, what do you expect? This is what I'm saying. Instead of having somebody who is knowledgeable be the commentator, you get this. So what if he?
Okay, here go Tasha K. Oh, she's showing Paula White. Let's see.
his gay sons would be able to lead the church? If that is indeed true, I'm just saying what I have heard. And two,
let me go back.
The oldest daughter, Cora's church conferences.
And so I guess during now, I've been waiting and watching things unfold with this lawsuit, okay? And I've been watching how his team moves, and I've been watching how the alleged victim team has been moving as well, okay? And so I don't know if you guys caught wind that TD Jakes has stepped down officially from his church. Now, I thought he already did that, okay? I thought when he
I thought he did too.
I thought we were done, but I didn't know that he wasn't officially done, okay? And so I guess during Sunday sermon, he decided to really make it official. I want you to pay very close attention to the video and how he looking. Look to your neighbor. And I want you to look at this video. Jasmine, go. Yeah, Jasmine.
Pastor Torrey and Pastor Sarah, because I did not want all that I had spent my life and your life and our lives building to get old and go with us. And even though she was busy doing Woman Evolved and he was busy pastoring One LA, about 4 years ago, they moved out here just in time for COVID. I thought.
Let's be clear, that Woman Evolved conference, it ain't nothing but a spinoff of the Woman Thou Loose conference that he's been doing for the last 35 years or whatever, maybe longer. I don't even know how long he's been doing that conference. So, and I have my thoughts on those church conferences, but at any rate, let's just continue. It's not like she made some huge sacrifice to come to be to his church and shut down what they were doing over there, because I feel like all of this stuff was just building up in the works. And her being, I don't know, is Sarah the youngest child? Because he has some sons. I believe his sons are gay.
They are.
Allegedly. And I believe the sons are his stepchildren.
They are his stepchildren, yes.
They're not like your biological children and you treat them as your own, great. More power to you. Congratulations, kudos. I commend you. All that's great and good. But there's no way that his gay sons would be able to lead the church. If that is indeed true, I'm just saying what I have heard.
It's true.
And
now that is true. They came out.
The oldest daughter, Cora Jakes, we know that she was married to an alleged convicted pedophile, and I have my thoughts about that too. But
sure was.
And blasted her a few years ago and said that she used spiritual coercion and spiritual manipulation to steal her child from her so that she could adopt the child.
And that's true too.
And allegedly Bishop T.D. Jakes and his connections and all of the stuff like that in the legal system allowed that to take place. So don't act like Sarah made some huge sacrifice to come there, because all of it is a freaking business.
To the board because I was concerned. I have seen too many men build something and stay so long that they kill what they build. Now, there's some other things that I'm assigned to do, both here and outside. But I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me. And you be sheep without a shepherd. I cannot afford to let all the work of all the saints living and dead to hold this so tight, so long that I wither away. So I'm suggesting to you, I'm recommending to you.
I'm gonna go past that because we heard that.
That in the last times in the book of Revelations is what I remember my uncle, who has never been involved in any scandal, said that men will become lovers of themselves. Men will become lovers of, and I just can't help.
I'm eating, y'all.
And long left, he was a lover of himself and other men. That's what.
And look, he was like half the size in that previous video. That's some crazy stuff.
They said. And now TD JAkES with this lawsuit is being accused of being a lover of himself, which is a man and other men. Now, I ain't no pastor, but I can read. You understand? This damn earring up to why don't they send me this? And I got big earlobes. The hell with you. I'm wearing whatever earring. Nah. Maybe God don't want me to have no earring on today. Maybe that's what it is. They only want me to have on one. But I said, I've seen this before. And so when he stepped down, I said, could it be that lawsuit that he filed against Dwayne Youngblood, a little boy that apparently worked under his ministry and his wife's ministry years ago, the boy he sued, and the other 10 co-conspirators that
10 came out. 10. I'll be right back.
Didn't name any of the 10 co-conspirators. He only named Dwayne, but there are 10 other people linked to this lawsuit that are listed as Jane Does and John Does that conspired over the years to expose him and take him down. And he knew he was getting ready to file this lawsuit. And in the midst of everything that was being said about him and them Diddy parties and him linking with Diddy and all of that stuff, the very day before he filed that lawsuit, he did this on stage.
No, I'm sorry. Tasha's stupid. But listen, a lot of people don't believe that so-called episode on the stage was really real. And I could see people, thoughts on that being valid. But I'm not going to say that it wasn't, because I just simply don't know. I'm not going to go there. But it did look suspicious. Real. But I also know that stress can bring on episodes like that. Stress can bring on disease.
It was real.
Sure he was under a lot of stress since all of that Diddy stuff came out and all of the rumors about him being at the parties and the freak-offs and power bottoms and the swallowed up jokes and all that other stuff. I'm quite sure that just did not feel good. And it was stressful. So, yeah, all of that can be true at the same time. But also, the type of lawsuit and complaint that he filed, the complaint was hundreds of pages. I believe the complaint may be like 600 pages or less or more. That's not something that anybody does overnight. So that was already being done. So, yeah.
The lawsuit was filed. Said he had a heart attack and he was out the next day. I guess that was Jesus. The Easter weekend, Jesus fell, then he rose again on the third day. Because that's exactly how it happened, I promise you. God can strike me down right now. He fell out, filed the lawsuit, said he fell out, and then he was rolling out the hospital saying he had a whole heart attack and he had been risen again.
Oh, Lord.
I said,
he did say that now because he was alluding to the fact that he died. He didn't say he died, but he was alluding to that. Hey, it's all perspective.
And the lawsuit well too. He did. And said that it caused him immense amounts of pain and suffering.
I bet you it did.
And so with all that going on, I couldn't help but to go and really, really look at the lawsuit for y'all because I seen that stuff. And I know there's a lot of people that's been covering it. But the way I uncover stuff like I uncovered Shannon Sharp's love for his prostate being massaged, that's why he was in the hospital about it. So he had prostate issues and stuff like that. You got to leave it alone. You can't be, coming off your prostate all the time. Of course, if you tell your prostate number's high, leave it alone. You got to let it rest. Going in for no colonoscopy, prostate exam. You used to it back then, allegedly. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, we're going to get off into this.
When it comes to this lawsuit that I read regarding this young man that sued him, who is not, in my opinion, credible, Dwayne Youngblood, and we don't need his picture up here. For years, he has been, I can't even say the word, touching young men that was in his ministry.
Yeah. And he was convicted for
touching young men.
And he said how an abused child becomes an abuser. I played what he said in a previous TD JAkES. I think I did 2 other ones. Y'all go check them out.
Exactly. He's a convicted felon. Like, we definitely not going to sit up here and defend him.
The lifetime registered offender. And he came out on another accused YouTube channel, Mr. Let Come in My Mouth, If You Under 17 Reads show, said the reason he had took all those boys is because he was abused by him and others like him.
Yep, that's what he said.
I don't
now that is what he said.
I'm not saying that people who have been hurt don't hurt others. That is a fact. We know stuff like that happens in life. But once you have offended somebody else and he offended someone and I'm using that word, but you know what I mean, and also did it again while he was on probation, you don't in turn get the right to try to come after this person later who has become successful, become wealthy, all of the things, got the fame and the recognition and all of the stuff that TD JAkES has gotten, and then you want to come after this man for some money instead of just trying to get yourself some help because you hurt some people.
Right.
You're not giving them any money.
Right.
You're not giving them any restitution. And if you had any restitution to pay, it went to the court.
Facts.
And I'm quite sure it wasn't
Facts.
$6 million that he tried to extort TD JAkES for.
Right, because that's why TD JAkES went ahead and sued them because he asked for $6 million, him and his brother. And then his brother alleged some things had happened.
TD JAkES, because he's come after my platform before too. I did that video where I talked about him asking people to give a $2,025 seed on New Year's Eve for all of the good stuff, right? To live the good life. If you want to live the good life, so it's $2,025. All I did was talk about it, share my opinion about it, share a little clip from that service. And my channel and video got struck. And it's like, why are you coming after me? Why are you coming after other YouTube content creators for just sharing their opinion about the stuff that you already have out here? It's not like we was in some secret meeting, recorded it, and then put it out here for everybody to listen to.
Facts.
And to see. It's like crazy. So, yeah.
I'm going to let this play for a minute. I got to do one thing.
That's the reason why he carried on the torch and the legacy. That's what he said. And so when you read the lawsuit that TD JAkES filed against this young man, this old man that came out and said when he was a young man that TD JAkES had propositioned him, not once but twice, said that he would take care of him for the rest of his life. If he promised to be with him and only him, and don't step out with no one else. And he would build him up because he did not want to allegedly give anything to his wife. So he had to be exclusive to him the same way that Shannon Sharp said Gabby at 20 years old had to be exclusive to his own. Same time. We'll talk about Shanahan in a minute. And so I read it and I was just like, when I was reading the lawsuit, he was unwinding just a lot of the background of the victim that came out and said all these things. And then he said there's 10 co-conspirators. Tyrone Blackburn. Y'all know Tyrone Blackburn. Don't act like you don't know the lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, the midget lawyer. He's like the black male version of Lisa Bloom. Tony Busby. The only difference is he ain't never got a settlement yet. He ain't never won a case yet. So he's representing these victims.
Facts.
These alleged victims that TD JAkES and his ministry are suing. Saying that TD JAkES is a lover of men.
Yep.
Now, so a lot going on here, especially when you're doing God's work. How do y'all gonna keep thinking I be doing God's work? That's okay though.
All right, I'm gonna let this
In
play.
his own
I mean, I'm not gonna let it play because we got a whole lot of other videos. This is Ringo. Oh, he's something else.
The real reason.
And I'm only gonna let a little
Bishop
bit of play.
JAkES step down.
This Ringo TV.
You know, a lot of people believe in religion. A lot of people serve God. And what many people don't understand is that the false prophet has been in business for a very long time.
Facts.
Bishop T.D. Jakes, one of the worst pastors and bishops in the history of the United States. This man is responsible for destroying many lives. And the thing is, he's looked upon as a hero, as a man who somehow is helping the people. But what you don't know is behind the curtain is a house of the devil. A house that they shape you. This is why they call it the potter's house. Because the false prophet wants to mold you into accepting lies. And I want to share with you the real reason why he stepped down. The real reason. The real reason is because his time is up. You see, when a man is called by God to bring forth the truth, he never steps down. When a man is called to help the people, he never steps down. He continues to the day he die. But JAkES, he stepped down because his time is up. And he wants to instill new pimps in the pulpit.
Ooh.
He wants to control the masses of the people with new shepherds to fleece the poor, to entertain you, to keep those dollars coming in. What pastor roll with presidents? What pastor and bishop is an advisor to the
Black Boule, the gatekeepers of the Illuminati? That's who. They everywhere. Sports. Everywhere. Control everything. I knew that when he took that faith-based money, him, Creflo, all the big ones under George Bush, that's when I knew they sold under Bush. I said, wow, look at this here. And when they took that money with certain things that they couldn't say anymore, just like under the 50c3, you can't say anything against, homosexuality or anything like that. Or, it's other things you can't say either, but that's the first thing that come to my mind.
of darkness. You see, what a lot of you don't understand is that the devil has appointed all of these pastors
Facts.
to keep the people blind,
Facts.
to keep you in religion,
Facts.
to keep you jumping and shouting while their pockets get fat.
Facts.
So he's stepping down because his days are numbered. You see, the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, T.D. Jakes ain't going to be around much longer.
I ain't gonna say
I warned
that.
you and I told you that. Just like I told you many, many years ago when Bishop Eddie Long was having inappropriate relations with young men in the church. And I told you that the Most High is going to put him to death. And he did the very thing. We saw Eddie Long wither away in the pulpit. He went from being healthy to being very frail and weak. And they never taught us exactly what was happening to his health, but he just mysteriously died due to his sins. And this is the judgment for you false prophets, you devils and demons that have been enriching yourselves over the years. You see, we love to be entertained. We love to go to church and hear these wolves in sheep's clothing, these witches and warlocks, these demons.
Come on.
But what does the Bible say? Let's read it. Titus chapter 1, verse 7. For a bishop must be blameless as the steward of God, not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine, a striker, not greedy or given to filthy lucre. Filthy lucre. That's what these bishops and pastors are into. They're into enriching themselves off the backs of the poor. Titus 1:11, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not.
Wow.
For filthy lucre's sake.
Wow.
So why do people like Bishop JAkES and all of these pimps in the pulpit, why do they teach? For filthy lucre's sake. Teaching things which they ought not. And what do the people do? The people follow these wolves. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2. Feed the...
Oh, shoot. Okay. I can't.
Of God, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. But these wolves, these demons, these witches and warlocks in the pulpit, they're not teaching the truth willingly. It's all for filthy lucre. John chapter 2, verse 16. And he said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence, make not my Father's house an house of merchandise. And that's exactly what the church has become.
Facts.
A house of merchandise. A house where you walk in, there's an ATM. A house where they ask for tithes and offerings and give you barcodes to scan.
Come
to send
on.
your payments.
Come on.
You can buy products and books and tapes, merchandise to people. I thought the gospel's supposed to be free. That's what I thought. I thought the gospel was something you give the people. So why the bishops and pastors are merchandising the people? Why they're not reading these scriptures in the churches? You never hear Bishop JAkES or any of these pastors even read these verses.
Facts.
You know why? Because they covered them. These verses expose these witches and warlocks in these churches, these
Facts.
It's no coincidence that JAkES is stepping down. He's stepping down because his days are numbered. The only reason why he's alive is because the witch doctors kept him alive. The Most High put him to death.
Ooh.
But the witches and the warlocks, the demons, kept him alive, but he can't pursue. That's why he had to step down. Because when God called you to the ministry, it's till death. Which means if you die at the pulpit, damn it, then you die. You don't put your hand to the plow and then step down. You stand therefore till you can't stand no more. Him stepping down is a clear sign that he can't pursue. He can't continue. He don't got the strength because his strength don't come from God. His power come from the devil. And see, when I speak this truth, it offends many because many of you have been bamboozled and bewitched by the devil. Because you don't read, you follow religion. You follow the lies of Satan. You love to dance, sing, and shout in these churches while the pastor and the bishops enrich themselves. And when men speak the truth, you grow angry and you despise them. You despise the very people trying to open your eyes. The very people trying to lead you from a burning house. You get mad at them for waking you up. The Bible clearly says, take these things hence, my Father's house of merchandise. Don't make it a house of merchandise. Stop merchandising the people. Stop fleecing the poor. But this is what the pastors and the bishops do. They rob the people every day. All of these churches, ladies and gentlemen, listen, all of these churches, ladies and gentlemen, all of these churches are in the business of making money. It's not about helping people. It's about helping their pockets. I don't care what church you go to. It's a house of the devil. The pastor in these churches,
not all the churches,
preach if money is
not all the churches.
Go land and sea and convert people and make them too full.
He said some truth now. He said some truth now. But we ain't gonna listen to all of it because it's 2 hours and we ain't got 2 hours worth of time. But he look, he said some stuff now. But we gonna end this because I gotta do one more video after this. Trying to make sure. I'm so glad my son taught me how to do this. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Don't say none of these. I listen to everything. When y'all see this, he's a good journalist. It's St. James, but let me see because it's long and I just want to get right back to it. Let me see. Let me get to the part.
Speculate that he and I are boyfriends or lovers. That's not actionable. People can speculate that. People can people have speculated all types of things. People have speculated if I'm a sex worker, if I'm a prostitute. It just, the way it's being presented to us, I see where it may be going, and that's where my thought pattern is, Conscience. It's really not against Larry. And what I was saying, that's why I asked the question.
Okay, I'm not gonna play this.
Nah, I'll pass. Were you surprised at some of the relationships that went left? Like, did it shock you? Like, well, damn. Yeah.
Okay, no, we're not playing that. We're gonna delete that. Let me see about this one. We ain't playing that one.
Before I got here, this song came on and sort of took over. I heard about how he healed the sick.
Now, this Marvin Ryman talking about TD Jakes. Let me. This St. James.
And I'm like, this is wild to me. Nicole says that there are many parts.
Right, let me see.
So he's out here trying to debunk everything that possibly, JAkES' team is going to come up against him with. Now he's out of the. It don't really matter if he was out of the country or under a rough point at this point at this time. They are going for the jugular, and Larry can sit around here acting like they don't have any.
Because this ain't got nothing to do with Larry, so I'm gonna take that. We're not even gonna deal with that. We got two more videos, and I'll be done with this one. So let me get into this one. This is Mad Church Disease. I like him. Let me see what he's saying.
And in this particular video, we're talking about TD Jakes versus Tyrone Blackburn. There's a new attorney that is now on the case. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about them.
This is the lawsuit.
And yeah, because I don't want my lips to look to look dry. Do I, Lynn? I know you multitasking. It seems you're doing a lot of multitasking. Thank God we're skilled enough to do that. Amen. But I definitely want to make sure that we have everything that we need done, and so forth. So shout out to all of you guys. See how Lynn threw me off? See, rest of my night. Okay. All right. Appreciate every single one of you. And thank y'all so very much for joining the live on tonight. All right. All righty then. All right. So that's who Amy is. And I'm going to be bringing up some additional information here.
Okay. Let's get to the message.
Share my screen. All right. First, answer the original TD Jakes filing. And you all need to understand this. Everything that we have experienced up until this time from Tyrone Blackburn has been a hodgepodge of AI mess. And from here on out, for me, Tyrone Blackburn will be known as Lyrone Blackburn. I'm not going to call him Tyrone. I'm going to call him Lyrone. We're going to call him Lyrone Blackburn. So Lyrone Blackburn must respond by July the 11th, ladies and gentlemen. That is the crucial aspect of this. And that is what he has to do. Now, you will also see another date on here that says July the 18th, okay? He is actually ordered to show cause not to exceed 15 pages as to why his statements in NOS 43 and 46 have violated Rule 11B, and while he's, violated these rules. So on July 18th, he has to respond by 15 pages saying why it should not be ordered that he 15 pages why he should not be he's not in violation of the rules. Okay, so he has to file that by July the 18th. Okay, and coming on our last date, ladies and gentlemen, on July the 24th, Tyrone is ordered. He is ordered to appear in court July 24th at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom 8B. He is to show cause as to why he should not be sanctioned for his violations of Rule 11B and so forth. Now, if he's able to accomplish his filing on July 18th, confused about whether or not TD Jakes is going to continue this case, because I know there were people in our chats and in some other chats that I was a part of. People were saying, oh, do you think he's so weak and he's so feeble? Will he be able to continue? Ladies and gentlemen, it looks as if TD Jakes is putting a nail in this situation, and he is most likely about to drive this on home. This is one of the reasons why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't mess with the champ. That's why you don't mess with the champ. This is another reason why, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand when you pick a fight with the right person, and you don't let some scrotum sniffer get you into a whole bunch of trouble and then turn around and make you mess around and end up being in some horrible financial situations. That's why you don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, okay? But TD Jakes, ladies and gentlemen, has added Amy McCann Roller onto his case with Tyrone, with Dwayne Youngblood, as well as his attorney, Tyrone Blackburn. Now, if anybody knows anything about Tyrone Blackburn, and if you've been paying attention, Tyrone Blackburn, you all, I've been doing some research. He has so many cases that are filings that he filed during this P. Diddy thing. He was just throwing any and everything up. And today I found out that a few of his stuff has been dismissed. Some more of it was dismissed. And so they're like, all of these people that was doing this pile on with Sean P. Diddy Combs, a lot of these people are actually falling by the wayside. Now, I'm about to say another controversial statement that some of you are not going to like. When grown consenting adults agree and do freak-offs, that's just what they do. in the privacy of your own home, having a freak off, whether it's in a hotel room, your bedroom, wherever the freak off is, that is not illegal. Now, what is illegal is if you're hiring prostitutes and flying them in from one part of the country to the next, that's illegal. But as it relates to the next couple of days to getting that video from me, so yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and we got one more. I think we're done after this.
I get tired of TD Jakes sermons like
This is all things
How much
theology.
more they got. I don't care how much younger they are. I don't care how many more degrees they got. I want you to believe that nobody will get what God has for you until you get there. It's just $220. For somebody, it's a lot of money, but for most of us, we spend more of that getting our hair done. We got $200 worth of weave.
But let's talk about it here, all things theology. We're not being easy.
All things theology, chop it up properly. God an apology, gotta get the theology to God. Halloween, this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
I forgot to do that. Hold up.
Yo, grace and peace. Welcome back to
Hey, I forgot to do that for Bridget
This is your
McCall
host,
when I come
Today,
back.
we gotta talk about TD Jakes. He was recently at the More Grace conference held by Brian Karn's church. Oh, you know, just mentioning Brian Karn, it's gonna be a mess, right?
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Look, you know how we like to do it. Let's get right into it.
Everything has to be set in order so that when I get to the right place, I got to get there at the right time. I don't want to get there before my ram does. I can't even see my ram, but my ram has a timing to get to the top of the place so that when I get to the right place, my ram is in the right place. I don't know who this is for, but the Lord said your ram is coming. You don't see it right now, but your ram is coming. Your ram is coming. Your ram is coming. And you feel like you're walking by yourself, but God has stalled things and slowed things down to give your ram a chance to be caught in the thicket so that by the time you get there and get ready to slay your son, there'll be a ram laid up for you in the right place at the right time.
You got to stop doing that.
So just in case you don't understand the text he's coming from Genesis 22. Allow us to actually read the passage, because ultimately what he's trying to say, your ram is the Genesis 22 caught in the thicket. That's the blessing. It's being held up for you at the right time. But is that what Genesis 22 is about? Let's go to the Bible.
Can we talk for a minute? The Bible says.
Let's actually get to the text and because this is a great passage about Christ, but he's not going to get to any of that. So allow me to briefly read this and explain. It says, "In these things God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he said, here I am. He said, take your son, your only son, Isaac." Great Christological connection even there. It says, "whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you." So Abraham rose early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took two of his young men with him, and his son Isaac. And he cut the wood for the burnt offering and arose and went to the place of which God had told him. On the third day, Abraham, you getting your blessings. It's the clock coming out, sir.
Reacting to their nastiness. You nasty.
So the imagery is you're getting pregnant, right? You can see the babies. The blessing is starting to show from that crown. It's coming out. I'm coming out. Yeah, you're going to let the world know, right? You're going to let it show. This is crazy. But again, the analogy is you're about to birth a blessing. Don't worry, we're going to hear a lot of that theology here.
Spirit is coming out of your belly. It's coming out of your heart. I want you to open up your mind and let it rip. Let it rip. Don't make no deal with the devil. Let it rip. Rip it, mother. Rip it. Rip it. There's something in you God wants to bring out. Open your mouth and let it rip.
I had no idea Bishop Jakes and Brian Karn had a relationship. Wow. Wow.
And you keep driving past and looking at it. And you can't afford it right now because God's going to tie it up. That house you're scared to tell anybody about. that God said was yours. And your money looking kind of funny right now, but God said He gonna tie it up.
So just like the ram is tied up, that business, that salon, that whatever, that money you're wanting, it's just being tied up by God. But God will provide that. You see the problem? The Bible makes explicit connection with Genesis 22, John chapter 1, where Jesus is described as the lamb who God provided, right, for the sins of the world, right? But there's always a catch to the blessing from these prosperity preachers.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I think that is all I got on TD Jakes. Just let me make sure that I hit everything and delete it. Because we're going to do Macron one more time. Dang, I got a lot of stuff on that. I didn't realize I had. I got a lot. Oh, that's for DC. Okay, that's going to go to DC. I might want to show that again. Oh, that's 20. When I do 20 more Savage again. Okay, that's all P. Diddy. All right, like, share, subscribe, hit that like button. I'm coming right back with